Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Browns this season, you know that things haven't exactly gone as smoothly as many of us hoped. Cleveland entered 2023 with high expectations, especially after a promising offseason and some key additions to the roster. But as we hit the middle of October, it's clear that injuries and some inconsistency have thrown a wrench into what could have been a very promising campaign. And right now, the latest news coming out of Cleveland is quite concerning, especially for the offense. The Browns took a significant blow in Week 4, and it's all about those injuries to their wide receiver group. Losing Cedric Tillman and DeAndre Carter for multiple weeks is no small matter, especially considering how vital these players could have been this season. For starters, Cedric Tillman, who was supposed to be the team's number 2 receiver heading into the year, suffered a hamstring injury. This is always a tricky injury for a wideout because it affects speed, agility, and overall explosiveness. Tillman, as many of you know, already had a decent start, with 11 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not just some filler stats. Those touchdowns are crucial in a league where every score counts. And interestingly enough, he's the only Browns receiver to have caught a touchdown so far this season. That might not seem like much, but in a team that struggled offensively, every scoring threat is valuable. Cleveland has only thrown for 3 touchdowns through 4 games, with the other one coming from their running back, Dylan Sampson. So, losing Tillman, who is expected to be a reliable target, definitely creates a void that the team will need to fill. On the other hand, DeAndre Carter, who's been more of a special teams and situational offensive player, also went down with a knee injury. While his offensive contributions haven't been massive, mainly because he's been used more as a return man, his absence still impacts the team's versatility. Carter's role in the return game has been especially important, as he's been Cleveland's primary returner, helping set up favorable field position. When your special teams playmaker goes down, it's not just about the yards on returns. It's about the overall field position and momentum. Now, these injuries couldn't come at a worse time, given that Cleveland's offense was already navigating some rough waters. With David Bell and Cade McDonald sidelined due to injuries, the Browns are really leaning heavily on Jerry Jeudy to step up as their top receiver. Jeudy, who was brought in to be a key piece this season, had a pretty slow start after his Pro Bowl campaign last year. Through 4 games, he's only managed 13 catches for 182 yards, and as of now, has yet to find the end zone. That's not what Browns fans were expecting, especially considering his talent and the expectations that came with his signing. Jeudy's performance against the Lions was a mixed bag. He finished with 3 catches for 48 yards, but he also dropped a crucial pass in the 4th quarter that could have changed the game. If you saw that play, you know how frustrating it was, and Jeudy didn't shy away from taking accountability after the game. He was visibly upset, using some colorful language, saying, "That expletive got me hot. I gotta make that damn play, bro. It's a big-time play, I got to catch that expletive. I catch them expletive every day in practice. That would have been a big play." It's clear he's hungry to improve and make those big plays happen, but right now, consistency is the key. And speaking of big plays, the offense's struggles highlight how much Cleveland needs Jeudy to step up. With the quarterback situation possibly heading for a shakeup, the importance of reliable pass catchers becomes even more critical. The team is reportedly considering a change at quarterback, which could see Joe Flacco stepping onto the field in favor of rookie Dillon Gabriel. That's a move that could shake things up offensively, and Jeudy's role as a dependable target is going to be crucial as the rookie tries to find his rhythm in the NFL. The Browns are heading to London this week to face the Minnesota Vikings, and it's shaping up to be a pivotal game, not only because of the opponent, but also because of what's at stake for Cleveland's offense and overall morale. This injury situation has opened the door for other receivers like Isaiah Bond and Jamari Thrash to step up and prove they belong in expanded roles. The Browns invested in these young players, and now they need them to deliver. Isaiah Bond, a rookie, has shown flashes in practice and limited game action, and Thrash, in his second year, has been waiting for his chance to contribute more consistently. These kinds of injuries are tough, no doubt about it, but they also provide opportunities for new players to shine, for these young guys to show their grit and make a name for themselves in the NFL. The Browns' offense has been a bit of a roller coaster this season. They've shown moments of potential, especially in the run game led by their running backs and the play calling of Kevin Stefanski, who's known for his creative schemes. But the passing game has struggled at times to find consistency, partly because of injuries, partly because of execution. And now, with Tillman and Carter out, the passing attack will need to evolve quickly. Jerry Jeudy has the talent to be that big play threat, but he needs to elevate his game, especially in clutch moments. This situation also raises questions about the team's overall depth at wide receiver. Cleveland's management and coaching staff have always been cautious about building a balanced roster, and injuries often expose where the team might be vulnerable. The Browns, historically, have had a strong defense, one of the best in the league last season, but their offense needs to catch up. They've been trying to find that rhythm, and these injuries make it even more challenging. But it's not all doom and gloom. The team's defense remains solid, and if the offense can get some consistency, they're still very much in the playoff hunt. Looking ahead, the Browns' upcoming schedule is tough, with the game in London against Minnesota being a real test. The Vikings have a solid defense and a capable offense led by Kirk Cousins, so Cleveland's defense will need to be on point. Offensively, they'll need to find ways to compensate for the missing pieces, especially in the passing game. That means more targets for Jeudy, more opportunities for Isaiah Bond and Jamari Thrash to step into the spotlight, and perhaps some adjustments in the play calling to better utilize the remaining personnel. All of this points to a team that's resilient, but also one that must adapt quickly. Kevin Stefanski has been praised for his offensive mind, but he's also under pressure to get the most out of these young receivers and to find solutions amid the injury setbacks. The Browns have always been a team that fights hard, and despite these hurdles, they remain committed to their goals. The fans, of course, are eager for wins, and I know many of you are already wondering how this team will respond in the coming weeks. The AFC North is fiercely competitive this season, with teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati also vying for supremacy. Cleveland's challenge is to stay afloat despite these injuries, keep their confidence high, and find ways to win crucial games down the stretch. And let's not forget the history here. Cleveland has always been a franchise that's had to fight for respect, often overcoming obstacles that seem insurmountable at first glance. This season might be no different. Injuries test the depth, the resilience, and the character of a team, and right now, the Browns are showing that they have the grit to push through. The coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, remains optimistic, emphasizing that injuries are part of the game and that other players will step up. It's about the next man-up mentality, and we've seen glimpses of that this season. The Browns' fan base is passionate, and I know many of you are feeling the frustration, but also the hope that these young players will rise to the occasion. The next few weeks will be crucial in shaping the direction of this team. Will they be able to overcome these setbacks? Can Jeudy, Bond, and Thrash step into bigger roles and help carry the offense? Will the quarterback change energize the team or cause more instability? These are all questions that will be answered in the coming games. But one thing is for sure, Cleveland is a team that refuses to quit, that fights to the very end, and most importantly, that has a dedicated fan base behind them, cheering them on every step of the way. So, Browns fans, keep your heads up, stay optimistic, and remember that every season has its ups and downs. Injuries are tough, but they also bring out the true character of a team. The next few weeks will be a test of resilience, adaptability, and heart. And I believe that this team, with all its talent and grit, has what it takes to come out stronger. The journey isn't over yet, and the best is yet to come. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.